Hello and welcome to this very speedy review of Fromage.
7 out of 10.
You know, we're not going to go that fast. We're going to do like an actual proper
7
review.
out of 10.
Hello and welcome to this review of Fromage. It's the cheese Euro game.
And it's stinky.
Matt, you are not really in this review.
That's fair, I haven't actually played this, so I should...
Yeah. So everyone was telling me that I should play this game. They were saying to me, you gotta play this cheese game. It's the bee's cheese. It's great. You gotta play the cheese Euro game. Like a grater. You should play this game because it's got things that you like from other games, but this time in a different game with nice art and components and cows and cheese and berries. And I said to them, sure. In Fromage, designed by Matthew O'Malley and Ben Rossett, you are looking to become the very greatest cheesemonger around. The very best of the mongers. Beats war, fish, even gossip. And to be the best cheesemonger around, you gotta make some cheese. You just gotta make the cheese. And to make the cheese, as everyone knows, you must place your workers efficiently. Fromage, of course, another game in the classic worker-putter genre. Each turn of the game has everyone simultaneously put a worker or two in the segment of the board in front of them. You've got 3 of these mongers to play with: a hard cheese operative, a blue cheese specialist, and secret agent soft cheese. Resource collection happens in these spaces, and you'll rake in a variable amount of either livestock, buildings, berries, or order cards. Simple. Now making cheese, that's a little different. First, you'll put one of your wedges onto one of these spaces, which you'll then cover up with your worker of the corresponding type. If I want a wedge here, I'll need my blue cheese bloke. And if I want a wedge here, I'll need hard cheese Helen. And getting cheese on the board is good because it's gonna get ya points! And each of the 4 sections of the board are gonna score in different ways. Over here, in the bistro, you're gonna get points for pairing cheeses together. In the fromagerie, you get points for cheeses being present on different shelves. The festival is all about making a big cheese chain, and France is an area control game. I've always said this. And once everyone's satisfied with their placement, you'll all take another turn. But not before rotating the board. So many times over the years, we've used metaphorical lazy Susans to talk about board games. But now, Susan is real. She's here. She's ready to party. She's gonna make some brie. So the board rotates, and now you've got a new section in front of you with new scoring criteria and spaces and resources to gather. Last turn, you were playing the area majority game and gathering cows, but this turn, you're loitering in the fromagerie and plucking berries. But what of your worker that you put out last turn, tasked with making that slice of blue that's waging war on Toulouse? He's so far away now. You're a boy down. Will your cheese industry survive this bitter, boyless winter? Yes. Well, maybe. Because at the start of your turn, you get workers back, but only if they're facing you. Lazy Susan? Pfft, hardly. In this one, she's working overtime. You see, this board does double duty, using the mysterious and arcane art of rotation to act as sort of an internal timer. Because all the spaces in the game are oriented in such a way that the weaker actions get you your worker back next turn. They'll face you after a simple 90-degree pivot. But the stronger ones put your worker 2 spaces away, and the very best will have them 3 whole turns away. 270 degrees! Is it me or is it getting hot in here? And there is the rub. There is the spice. There's the jalapeno in your manchego. And this here is just a really Moorish timing puzzle. Sure thing, you can place your workers out willy-nilly and take really good spaces and really high numbers of resources, but then you're left high and dry for the following 2 turns, whilst you wait for your guy to gradually orbit back to you with all the urgency of a sad clown on a merry-go-round. Oh, how you'll kick yourself for sending Professor Hardcheese on a labyrinthian mission to explore the cheese festival. He won't be back for weeks! I've made a mistake! Because look, as it stands, neither Dr. Blue nor Sergeant Soft can take that particular table at the bistro, and you have to get that sweet pairing before your awful friend steals it away. But there's a satisfying pop when it all comes together, sending out a worker and then gathering resources in the time it takes for them to get back to you ready to spend. Confidently pinching a valuable space, knowing that you're not going to need that worker for a while because you're focusing on the other two. Having a turn where you actually just place nothing, but you're kind of fine with that because you just blocked a space that you know someone else needs and you weren't really messing with the fromagerie anyway. And there's some other great bits in here as well. I like these buildings that you draft at the start of the game to establish a little strategy. Ooh, maybe I'll invest in big cows this game. Maybe I'll engage in a little jammery. Would that be so wrong? Or just forget about all that and use the default ones printed on your board. Or maybe a mix of the two. It's a nice bit of strategy in what becomes quite a tactical game as people snuffle up ideal spots and get in your way. And I like these resources as well. There's 4 of them available in the game, and specializing in just 1 or 2 feels good. Getting building resources lets you activate those player powers that you drafted earlier. Getting cows lets you make extra cheese in a pinch. Berries can be turned into fruited cheeses or jams that let you access certain spaces. And these order cards get you a stacking point bonus if you visit specific spaces on your turns. Maybe making this crottin de chavignol is worth it, or maybe it's a distracting spanner in your works. So there's a lot to like. But this game is really, really short. In the world of the multi-hour Eurogame, Fromage promises a sweet 40 minutes on its box, and it's not lying. This bad boy whips by. Now that's mostly to do with the simultaneous worker placement. Nothing's gonna change in the segment in front of you, so you just plonk a worker down and then get ready to rotate. But I think this pace is kind of a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you can just rack the game up ready to go again immediately when you're done. But it's a curse because maybe it's not quite as satisfying as I'd like it to be, crunched into this short time span. In my games of Fromage, it never really felt as though our plans were bearing dividends. You managed to get an engine off the ground, and then 1 or 2 turns later, it's all over. There's a lick of anticlimax to it, especially with a game end trigger that happens when someone runs out of these little pieces, which is hard to keep track of when your head's down puzzling on how to most efficiently make some Gouda. But there is one big problem with this game.
Yes, this is a game about cheese, and it doesn't let you take cubes of cheese and put them on sticks with little bits of pineapple.
Matt, you haven't even played the game. You don't even know if that's true.
I know, I just love snacks. I'm not bored of just doing camera.
That's very fair, and you can go back now, though. You can go back. The thing is, just like a disappointing snack, Fromage just isn't cheesy enough. And yes, I know, that's weird to say because I've been nattering about cheese all video long, but this game might be about cheese in a superficial way, but it's not about cheese. It doesn't have fun with its theme. The game looks great. Top marks for these nice cheese picks. But do you feel like you're making cheese? No, you don't. And I really want to feel like I'm making cheese, but I don't. I feel like I'm putting little triangles onto a spinny board. And that sounds like a really daft criticism because at the end of the day, aren't all the games that we like just putting wood onto a board? Sometimes triangle bits of wood. It's true. But the games that we love are the ones that nod to their theme in ways that feel tactile and present. Matt just recently covered Salton Sea, and whilst we have some complicated feelings on the specifics of its theme, the process of it feels mechanical, industrial. The design locks perfectly in with its setting and makes something that feels considered and pointed. Black Forest, which we also recently covered, is very much the same. You're just moving a worker around and getting points at the end of the day, but it's so evocatively upholstered. Moving the cows into a new barn, pushing back the forest to feed your glass furnace, moseying on down to the next town over to get some use out of the blacksmith's handiwork. And maybe while I'm there, I'll get a pig. Who's to say? It all makes sense. It all feels almost organic. Corrosion might be the best, most direct comparison here. A game that's been woefully undercovered by us, considering how long it's stuck around on my shelves. You can check out this video if you're intrigued about it, but the broad idea is that you're building an engine, literally out of various mechanical parts. Power it with steam, add new doodads and gadgets, hire engineers to make the whole thing run a little smoother. It's even using this same rotation mechanic, twisting your center board to corrode old parts and bring laborers back from their tasks. And it fits so much better. It feels like you're building a machine and then operating it by twisting its big central cog. A game with a great theme, to me, isn't one that just has an unusual area of interest. It's one that marries that unusual area of interest with its turn by turn, with its core actions that you're doing all the time. And Fromage doesn't really do that. It feels like a very solid, good game in a funky cheese wrapper.
He admitted he wants to get married to cheese.
I did. Wait, did I say that?
You want to get married to cheese.
I'd kiss cheese. I want a detailed cheese game. I want the wow of whey, the crunch of curds. A game that really makes you feel like you're making cheese.
If you want to make cheese, you first need to find a good pig to lay your egg. That one looks good to cheese. The farmer gets the pig and encourages it to give us its eggs. There's a good firm egg. Give it a squeeze to slop it out. The slop is the tasty bit. The tasty bit is the slop. You put all the slop into a river because it looks nice. A big stream of slop for the family. Then it goes into a presser and then it goes into a pipe. I don't really know what's happening. And after all that work, it'll be tired and ready for a nap. And when it wakes up, it's absolutely ruined. It just looks terrible. Go on, put it into a can. There's the cheese boys for canning their cheeses. And when it's ready, you just pop it out of the safety cage, and you can use it to make all sorts of tasty meals. Nausea pie, spam brick. I don't know what this is. Brain and salad is a local delicacy here. The king's arse. Family flan for aunts and uncles and nieces. This is peeled starfish, of course. And finally, dessert. Thank you for watching.